Hi all, good evening. My name's Debbie. I'm a Live for Love TV subscriber on YouTube. It's a very informative channel. So when you have a spare moment, please like, share and subscribe. Live for Love TV. Thank you.
Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the 7th day of the second month, the 22nd year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing well out there. Well, we talk about things on Live for Love TV that are a little bit different than other channels. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is science, enlightenment, and how we got to where we are today. There was a period in Western culture, and which is still, you still could say in African culture, where a few hundred years ago, spirituality led the way. And when I say spirituality, meaning that there were things that were going on that you couldn't see. Basically, not everything you could see was actually in your atmosphere. There were things going on all around you. Like for instance, around me, there are things going on that are not in the peripheral of the eye that I'm looking through. Then we came into a period where they call it enlightenment, where scientists and stuff like that started to come into the Western society, and they changed the whole dynamics. Basically, as far as they were concerned, there was no such thing as spirituality. Everything could be explained through science, and we should all accept that science is science. Now, you may hear people say, well, this doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. What matters? The word matter simply meant, from scientific perspective, was something that you could touch, feel, see, and smell. So these plants would be seen as matter, the ground is matter, even I matter, everything is matter. Nothing else exists. As far as, and that's why we today say, well, that no matter, this no matter. That's what we're talking about. We're using words that science brought into our vocabulary by telling us about matter. But recently, with quantum physics and a new form of science that came about probably just over 100 years ago, there were some new scientists that were starting to say, but something is going on in the atmosphere that we can't see. They started coming up with terms like dark energy, which meant that there was something in the dark. Though there's nothing that could be seen, there's no light, there's something there, because our instruments are telling us something must be there as light would pass through, or something like this. So quantum physics is a bit different than the traditional Newtonian physics which we had a few hundred years ago. And now we're going back full circle, where people are starting to say there are things that we can't see that are actually in the atmosphere that are happening. Now, is that spooky? Will that lead back to maybe some of the things I was talking about, such as in African spirituality, where they've always accepted that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there? There are many characters in their belief system, giants, dwarfs, all kind of things that are all around us, and spirits in the river, spirits on the river, spirits under the river. I've heard stories in Africa such as people living under the water, living in the water for hundreds of years, or 30 years, 40 years, and not being seen. So there's all kind of stories. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you to believe any of these stories, because you believe what you want to believe. But why I'm bringing these up is I'm trying to let people think of how we get to where we are today, and why some people are frightened of so many things, and some people are not frightened of so many things. Some of the stories that we've been told since we were born, maybe before, just as we learn to speak, or maybe before, by our culture or our parents. It's very hard to shake these things when you become an adult. Very hard. If you've believed it from day dot, and the person you believe that you should trust more than anybody else, which is your parents or even your culture or your other people in your family, have told you this to be absolute true, it's hard to shake it. That goes for many belief systems, such as religion as well. If you've been brought up to believe this, how do you shake it? It's not easy. And the same thing is true of some of the spiritual concepts that you hear in different communities. So we try to make sense of the world in which we live before we are no more. And by making sense, it's not so we can sit in front of a camera and pontificate and sound like you're intelligent. We make sense because we try to make it into our real everyday life, so that we can use the things that we make sense from. There's no sense in reading a book on how to do, to change your body, and not trying to do the things that says in that book. and how to change your body. That's a waste of time. So when you learn something, if you have any intellect and you believe in it, then you take to use it, you test it, you try it and see if it works. If it works, you continue it, and if it doesn't work, you put it down and try something else. So that's why I'm saying that the sciences and the spiritualities, if these things work for you and they improve your life, then all the better. But too many of us just continue doing the things that we were taught as young people, and it's not putting us in any better position. In fact, we're getting weaker and weaker, poorer and poorer, and more, more delirious, more illusional, but yet we continue to do the same thing, which, as you know, Einstein made a comment that he who does the same thing and expect a different result is a definition of insanity. And I agree with that. I've always agreed with that because it seems true to me. It's not something that I can argue with. So I'm saying that in Live for Love TV, I want you, as I do, to try different things. Don't just keep plodding away with your habits and things that you do every day, especially if they're not giving you the results that you think you should have. And if they are giving you the results you think you should have, then obviously you keep going and you double down on it and you do more of it. Because then when you do more of it, then you'll get greater and greater results. And that's what we want for you, and that's what I want for myself. As I said when I started this, we want growth back and forth, to and fro. So when you comment, I'll respond, I'll put my views out, you give me back your views. No way can I say anybody sitting in front of a camera, just because they're in front of a camera or they've got X amount of views, that what they say is, as they say, gospel. And you know what I mean by that when I say that it's actually holds 100% true and there's nothing that can be taken out of it. I don't accept that kind of truth. I think truth is something that comes through us all, especially the people who get to the truest of it are the people who listen to more people, the people who find out what she's saying, he's saying, what the man is saying, females are saying, what communities are saying, different races, different culture. The person who can go through an anthropological worldview, they're going to get closer to the truth than someone who sits there in a corner reading a book, humming and ahhing, or making all kind of sounds and saying that they've got some insight. I've never accepted that kind of consciousness. I don't accept anybody who's sitting in a corner humming and ahhing and oming sounds and all that kind of stuff. It's going to bring anything to my life, really. People say they bring something to their life, and I can't knock that, but they're not the sort of people I listen to be frank with you. Now, I think a lot of people, when it comes to claiming to improve their life, do nothing more than use different type of escapism ways, such as smoking too much, drinking too much, meditating too much, umming and ahhing too much, doing all kind of stuff like that. To me, that is really, as I see it, a forms of escapism. Really, this is the life we have. We need to make the best out of it. And if we can use science to help us do that, or spirituality in some people's terms to do that, it's all the better. I'm cool with that. I can't say what is right and what is wrong. But what I do think is that when you give all to one thing, you find the problems start to come. We gave all to spirituality back in the day. Now people are giving all to science, and they keep saying following the science as if something scientific, it means it's what you should be following, and these people can lead you. It's another big problem, just like we did in the days of religion and spirituality. We need to be able to have a broader world view. We need to look at these things from a wider perspective. Sometimes we need to take our emotions out of the thing and really look at the thing for what it is. Now, I'm not saying you can be totally unemotional about anything, but you don't have to be that emotional about something just because you've got it in your belief system, like I was saying, from you're a very young child. And this is what's happened to so many of us, that when you talk to somebody, it's almost like you're stepping on everything they believe about themselves. Therefore, it turns into a disagreement, then it turns into an argument, and it could end up anywhere. So, when you see people like that, I'd say step back from them, realize that they're caught in that emotional trap of that belief that they've been given to from their very young child. And they've never been able to step outside the box and look back at that thing that they believe in. I've been able to do that, fortunately. I don't know I still don't know what enlightenment is, because I hear people talk about it. I hear about the Buddha, and I hear about this, and I hear about that, and I see all these gurus all over the place claiming they're enlightened. I don't know exactly what they mean. I really don't know, because no two of them do the same thing. So you'll see one guru doing this and one guru doing that, and one so-called type of Buddha, wouldn't call him a Buddha, whatever they call him, monk or doing this, and it's the same in religion. One person claims to be religious and they're completely different to somebody who you know is in the same religion. So I don't know what these people mean. I know that I am what I am, and I am who I am, and I know that that's what I try to do to improve myself, along with you, the viewers and subscribers. I try to share what I've learned. I try to share my journey of where some of the places I've been, and what I've seen, and what I've uncovered, as they say, not discovered but uncovered. And I hope that it helps you as it's helping me. So take care. See you soon. Live for Love TV.
People.